Let's go to Abby in Montgomery, Alabama. What's up, Abby? How we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Remarkable. Hey, you got to hear me botch the intro the first time. It's cool, man.
Yes, I did. I hope it makes the final cut.
I assure you it won't. James isn't that kind of producer. But it will make the... That is true. I'm not that kind of... It wasn't great. So what's up, Abby? How can I help?
Hey, well, so I guess the short question is I found out last week that we are having another boy. This will be our last pregnancy because I had some medical complications between the first and the second one. And I was just kind of wondering how to process the fact that I'm not going to have a girl and all that entails. I'm really excited about another boy. I'm much better at being a boy mom than I feel like I would be a girl mom. And everything that I'm kind of like processing right now is stuff that won't happen for the next 20 years. But it kind of hit me hard like last week when I guess because I didn't know that I wanted a girl. But then again, like I'm really happy that I have a boy too. So
yeah. How many kids do you have?
Through that.
Well, number
I
one.
have one that just turned 4.
So you got one that just turned 4, and then this is number 2?
Yep, I'm 18 weeks along.
So can we just celebrate for a second? Way to go. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
I said, way to go.
Yeah,
I mean, that's awesome.
This was a miracle baby for sure because we had a lot of medical complications in between the first and the second one. So.
Very cool. And so when I hear people say, I wish I had a girl, and it's a 20-year thought, the idea being daughters take care of their parents better than sons do. Is that your thinking?
Yes.
So
well, I'm one of 4. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and without a doubt, yes.
All right. I have some thoughts on that, but we'll save that for a second. Let me write a note to myself. So how much of this, like what's in your soul right now, is pregnancy related versus gender related? And here's what I mean by that. I haven't not met a woman yet, and I know they exist, and so don't be mean to me on the internet, women. But most of the women, all the women I've met, even if they've got kid 5, kid 7, whatever, the day they decide this is it is hard. It's a hard season. Or is this this is all about, I wish I had a daughter?
I'm going to go with probably just wish I had a daughter. I am, in my friend group, we joke that I'm the least maternal person in the group. Like most moms are like, oh, I don't want my babies to leave. And I'm like, I'm training these kids to go out, like, bye. So I think it's just the fact that
I love you're training the one that's not even born yet. You're like, already.
Well, I mean,
I love it. I love it. Yes, it's just. All right. So I will say I can't speak into this directly because I've never been pregnant. What I can speak into is this. I did have a picture of what my family would look like. And I don't even know where that picture came from. It's probably one of the pictures I was born into, which is my culture said this is about how many kids you should have. And by the way, weirdly, this is what they should look like. Nobody ever said this is what your kids should look like, but there's just enough pictures about kids that I just start to think this is what they should look like. And then there was pictures in my head of like me and my girlfriend at the time and now wife, or other girlfriends I had, or my parents or brothers and sisters. Like we just talked about it. The family I have now looks very different than the ones that were in my pictures, that were in the stories. And it sounds like a weird thing, a weird word, but I'm just taking it back. You got to just grieve what you thought was going to happen and what you hoped for was going to happen, and that didn't happen, right?
Right.
And then most stop there. I'm just going to wallow in it. And I know there are moms, bajillions of them, and dads who blame their kid. Let them know, I always wanted a girl, or you were the accident, or you were the whatever. My little brother still refers to himself as the great accident, right?
I'm the mistake. So, I mean, I can feel that. There's 17 years between me and my oldest brother.
I see, and I hate that. That's in your soul. You know what I mean? And it is. Yeah. They told you that. And you can do math. You know how math works.
It's mostly my siblings telling me that my mom and dad, though.
Exactly. Siblings are brutal. All I have to say is this. I want to give you permission to go, I want a girl. And I'm not going to have one. I'm not going to have little dresses. I'm not going to have pigtails. I'm not going to whatever. Like whatever the thing is. Unless your boys have pigtails, unless your boys wear dresses. And that's another call for another show. But like, I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to have when they get older. I'm going to have to deal with my boys and not, whatever. I want you to grieve that, okay? You have permission to sit down and be sad about that. Not forever, not where it's debilitating, but sit down and own that. That could look like you writing a letter to yourself or to the daughter you're not going to have or to your future, whatever that looks like. However you need to grieve that, I want you just to take some time and own it. What does your husband think? Did he want a daughter too?
He wanted a daughter from the first baby. So he's always wanted a girl, but our families pretty much just have boys. So,
well,
it wasn't surprising, but it was just kind of hit me all at once. Like all these things down the road that are just like not going to happen. And
so do it with
I guess I worry about being clingy to like when they finally do leave and not being a good mother-in-law when they get married and things like that. So
okay, so I want you and your husband to agree that together. Make it a thing.
Okay.
And talk about it out loud. The secret that you wished that your son had been his daughter will haunt him. Don't do that to him. Speak it.
Okay.
Let it out. By not speaking it, we think we're hiding it and we're getting away with it, and we're not. Then the second thing is this. Raise your boys to be hospitable and to love their parents and to be people of character and to notice things and to take care. You have an opportunity to train them into what love looks like demonstrably. And you have one of my wife's grand plans is to teach our son how to pick a spouse that like is good, is a good person. Like she's got a picture in her head where she and her daughter-in-law are friends. They're connected at they get along. They are a part of the same gang. And I think those conversations start early with how do you pick girlfriends and how do you pick, how do you pick somebody that you're romantically interested in? How do you do all that? You get to speak into that. And the meta here for me is this. You're worrying about stuff that's not going to happen for decades.
I know.
Is that just how you roll?
Yes. Okay. That is 100% me. Like one small thing happens and my brain's, 10, 20, 30 years down the road going, oh man.
You're going to miss out on a lot of life living like that.
Yeah.
And so can I offer you one more piece of wisdom? Mm-hmm. You get to choose. This sounds crazy. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to choose them. Now, we don't get to choose the lightning bolts, the ones that pop in our head, the one that's, we're not going to have a daughter, and then it pops in, oh my gosh, I'm going to be taken care of when I'm old by two idiot boys. You can't stop that one. The next thought is on you. The next thought to go, oh my gosh, then what's going to happen? And then I need to start planning for this. All of that is you. It's a choice. And it's something that we practice. And over time, those default settings, down the spirals, the 20 years, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? All of that stuff, you practice, you choose. I'm not going to go down that road anymore. I'm not going to try to control 20 years from now. I'm going to make good choices today. I'm going to follow the process. And then in 20 years, I'm going to deal with what's going on 20 years. I'm going to save my money today. I'm going to teach my boys how to love. I'm going to show them how to love. I'm going to show them via loving their dad. I'm going to make it so hard. The picture they have of what an awesome wife, what an awesome partner is, I'm going to show them so much. Our marriage is going to be so good that those boys are going to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to set the bar high and you and your husband are going to live that out. Like, man, you get to decide all that. And then 20 years from now, they bring home some knucklehead. Solve that then, right?
Okay.
Enjoy your life now. But going back to your original thing, I'm giving you permission to be sad.
Okay.
Giving you permission, you and your husband go out, get breakfast together, go to Cracker Barrel and eat too much and be sad about it. And then you're going to have to work out hard to get rid of that nonsense that you just tortured your body. And I want y'all to be about loving this little boy, recklessly loving this little boy. Let this little boy know that he is a miracle. Our family would not be the same without him. Hey man, you got an adventure ahead of you, and I'm excited for you.